And now,
this is Oscar night.
The Oscars are finally upon us. It's been an undeniably big year for movies. From the virality of Barbenheimer to the breakout stardom of Anatomy of a Fall's Messi the dog, this year's Best Picture nominees saw a fascinating shift online as the internet turned these non-blockbusters into cinematic events in their own right. Poor Things boasts a box office return of nearly $100 million worldwide, while Barbie is one of the very few non-action, non-Disney, not yet franchise films to cross $1 billion. Oppenheimer following not too far behind. So just what did critics think of this year's Best Picture nominees here at IGN? Let's find out.
Sir, I don't understand.
That's glaringly apparent.
I can't fail this class.
Oh, don't sell yourself short, Mr. Coates. I truly believe that you can.
Alexander Payne's latest outing, set in a 1970s boarding school, follows the unlikely friendship that develops between a teacher and student during winter break. Our reviewer, Siddhant Idlaka, praised Alexander Payne's direction and the performances of Paul Giamatti and newcomer Dominic Sessa, giving the film a 9. A coming-of-age dramedy about a volatile student and his curmudgeonly teacher, Alexander Payne finds deft balance with the Holdovers, in which every glance and verbal exchange may as well be set up for something equally hilarious and touching. Dominic Sessa brings a youthful fire to his role as a volatile, dejected teen, and Paul Giamatti has never been better, playing a caricatured grump with dynamic and vulnerable layers.
Editors, they want a black book.
They have a black book. I'm black, and it's my book.
You know what I mean.
Based on the novel Erasure by Percival Everett, Cord Jefferson's feature adaptation follows writer Monk Ellison as he deals with the hypocrisy and obsessive stereotyping of the publishing world after releasing a surprise hit under a pen name. Reviewer Kenneth Seward Jr. praised this satirical examination of the intersections of identity and art, especially commending the performances of Jeffrey Wright and Sterling K. Brown. American Fiction is one of the few films to receive an IGN 10. American Fiction is a brilliant satirical drama that shines an inquisitive light on how art from marginalized people is viewed. It's thought-provoking, heartening, silly, and at times downright hilarious. The cast is great as well, with standouts Jeffrey Wright and Sterling K. Brown both delivering incredible performances. Essentially, everyone involved with American Fiction should be commended on creating this remarkable film.
Herzlichen Dank für eure nationalsozialistische Gastfreundschaft.
Directed by Jonathan Glazer, The Zone of Interest is a stark portrayal of Auschwitz commander Rudolf Höss, contrasting the idyllic domestic life he shares with his family against the atrocities he commits next door. Our reviewer, Chase Hutchinson, declares it one of the best films of this or any year, and gave it a 9. There are few films you'll see this year or any other in your life as starkly horrifying, sickening, and monstrous as Jonathan Glazer's The Zone of Interest. More than just a reflection on the so-called banality of evil, it is a formally precise, yet completely shattering, cinematic intervention into the history of the medium itself. From the sound design to the score by Micah Levi, it is like a waking nightmare that only grows more disquieting the longer it goes on.
We're in a race against the Nazis, and I know what it means if the Nazis have a bomb.
Christopher Nolan's expansive biopic stars Cillian Murphy as J. Robert Oppenheimer, physicist and creator of the atomic bomb. Our reviewer, Siddhant Idlaka, praises the intimacy of Murphy's performance and Nolan's vision, giving the film a rare IGN 10. A biopic in constant freefall, Oppenheimer is Christopher Nolan's most abstract yet most exacting work, with themes of guilt writ large through apocalyptic IMAX nightmares that grow both more enormous and more intimate as time ticks on. a disturbing, mesmerizing vision of what humanity is capable of bringing upon itself, both through its innovation and through its capacity to justify any atrocity.
Hi, Barbie!
Hi, Ken! Barbie is Greta Gerwig's lively romp through Barbieland and the sunny streets of Los Angeles, starring Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling as Barbie and Ken. Our reviewer, Alyssa Mora, that's me, praised the ensemble and imaginative set design, giving this very pink, very emotional adventure a 9. Greta Gerwig's Barbie is a masterful exploration of femininity and the pressures of perfection. This hyper-femme roller coaster ride boasts meticulous production design, immaculate casting, and a deep-seated reverence for Barbie herself. Margot Robbie sparkles at the center of the film alongside Ryan Gosling's airheaded Ken and America Ferrera's well-meaning Gloria. Ultimately, Barbie is a new, bold, and very pink entry into the cinematic coming-of-age canon. Absolutely wear your pinkest outfit to see this movie, but make sure you bring tissues along too.
Bella, this is Mr. McCandles.
Hello, Bella.
Poor Things follows Bella from proto-childishness through to unfiltered adulthood as she inspires shock and awe in those she meets. For IGN, critic Siddhant Idlaka gave this delightfully perverse romp an 8. A delightfully unsettling work of absurdism inspired by Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Poor Things condenses adolescence into a raucous 140-minute package through an absurd tale of a reanimated woman on a quest of sexual, emotional, and intellectual self-discovery. Emma Stone packs a wallop as Bella Baxter, turning in a fearlessly strange performance that takes on new layers of maturity as it evolves, while Mark Ruffalo descends into pitiable madness as a playboy who can't control her. It's a film in conversation with its literary aspirations, but it stands firmly on its own as one of the most visually imaginative, energetic Hollywood comedies in years.
There's a word in Korean, inyeon. It means providence or fate.
Starring Greta Lee and Tae Yoo as childhood sweethearts reunited after decades apart, Past Lives marks a poignant first feature from Celine Song. Reviewer A.A. Dowd calls this a beautifully shot and uncommonly elegant directorial debut from Song, but wished for a less mediated take on the characters' relationships. Past Lives received a 7. Easily the gentlest and most tastefully restrained of this year's Best Picture nominees, Celine Song's critically acclaimed Sundance hit spans decades and continents to tell the tale of Korean childhood sweethearts who drift out and then back into each other's lives over the years. The film's bittersweet serenity can be intoxicating. This is an uncommonly elegant directorial debut, beautifully shot and edited, with sensitive performances by Greta Lee, Tae Yoo, and John Magaro. But at a certain point, Past Lives begins to feel as mediated as an MFA creative writing exercise. Never risking discomfort, Song flattens a real-life anecdote of any truly messy feelings, resulting in a tone poem quasi-romance that's actually serene to a fault. It's a good movie too chronically polite to achieve anything like greatness.
I just want you to know one thing. I'm not a monster.
Justine Triet's Anatomy of a Fall follows the trial of a woman suspected of her husband's murder, her blind son acting as the case's sole witness. Reviewer Lex Briscuso particularly praised Sandra Heller's performance of the maligned wife at the center of Triet's film, describing Anatomy of a Fall as a riveting dance between reality and invention. Briscuso gave the film a 9. Justine Triet's courtroom drama thriller Anatomy of a Fall choreographs a riveting dance between tragedy and the transference into survival mode via the manipulation of reality and the power of invention. With star Sandra Heller in full control of a bold and emotional script by Triet and co-writer Arthur Harari, the consequences of a fractured marriage make for a deeply engrossing watch, impossible not to get sucked into.
If summer doesn't sing in you, then nothing sings in you. And if nothing sings in you, then you can't make music.
Maestro marks Bradley Cooper's second directorial feature as he takes on the role of American conductor and composer Leonard Bernstein. Reviewer Hannah Inez Flint lauds Cooper's sophomore directorial feature, praising its use of cinematic language and describing it as an intricate and intimate portrait of an American icon. Flint gave Maestro a 9. The caliber of Bradley Cooper's direction is matched by a transformative performance as the great American composer, opposite a dynamite Carey Mulligan as his actress wife.
Whose land is this? My land.
Chronicling an American atrocity, Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon casts Leonardo DiCaprio and Lily Gladstone as husband and wife. Gladstone as a member of the moneyed Osage tribe, and DiCaprio as a conspirator in the horrific murder of Osage tribe members. Killers of the Flower Moon is as brutal as they come, writes Siddhant Idlaka, highlighting Gladstone's performance and praising Scorsese's direction. Killers of the Flower Moon received a 9. Like the novel on which it's based, Killers of the Flower Moon offers a detailed portrait of the Osage tribe, the infamous murders committed against them in the 1920s, and the life of Molly Burkhart, who saw most of her family slain. As Molly, native actress Lily Gladstone brims with innocent love and ferocious anger, delivering a performance that's sure to launch her into Hollywood's stratosphere, especially as she holds her own against compellingly corrosive work from De Niro and DiCaprio, as men whose warm benevolence is always underscored by an icy chill. It's one of Scorsese's most brutal films, yet one of his most thoughtful and self-reflective, as he crafts a subversive murder mystery that leaves no lingering questions save for one. It's a question that defines the tide of American history. Just how far are people willing to go for greed? Maybe you agree with our scores. Maybe you don't. Regardless, the anticipation ahead of the Oscars race this year is half the fun. Which of these films are you hoping wins Best Picture? Comment below, and be sure to check out the full reviews of this year's nominees.